Living longer, living healthier, living better than ever before. Welcome to Mountain Pacific's Healthy Living for Life, a weekly series that gives you the information, education, and expert insight you need to become an active participant in today's ever-changing healthcare climate. Here now is today's program host.
The impact of a concussion can stay with someone well after a player leaves the field. Today we'll discuss concussions and the long-term effects that can change a person's life forever. Our guests include a former NFL player, a sports medicine doctor, and experts from the University of Montana studying traumatic brain injuries. Welcome to this episode of Healthy Living for Life, a show dedicated to helping you do just that. I'm Janet Whitmoyer, your host. Welcome back. I would like to introduce my first guest on today's show. Casey Fitzsimmons is a retired professional NFL player. Casey, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you start off by telling us at what age you started playing football and how you got to the NFL?
I first started playing football when I was, I played in 7th and 8th grade and up in Chester, Montana, and then played my freshman year of high school and then part of my sophomore year and then my senior year. And obviously to get to the NFL there's a lot of steps and whatnot, but excelled on my senior year of high school and had an opportunity and to go play football at Carroll College, and then from there was an undrafted free agent with the Detroit Lions.
Well, that's quite an accomplishment going from Chester, Montana all the way to the Detroit Lions. I read that you chose to retire from football because of concussions. What did the NFL football physicians tell you, and why did you choose to retire?
I don't know if it was really a choice of mine. It was more of an ultimatum. I just had got done getting MRIs on my shoulders, and the front office called and let me know that I was, they weren't gonna offer a contract due to the fact that my concussions were an issue. My decision in it is if I could play right now, I would probably try. But I guess the thing is I wasn't as educated as I am now on the severity of concussions and what the long-term effects were. One is probably because I just didn't want to know, because I wanted to continue to play football. But after finding out the information I know now and stuff, I'd probably wouldn't, go back to play football.
So going on with that a little bit, what did the doctors tell you about the long-term effects of your concussions?
There wasn't really anything said about the long-term effects. I guess I know now just through what I dealt with, and research in concussions, 95% of what we know now has been taught to us in the last 5-7 years. So to their credit, I don't think that they exactly knew what the problems that people can deal with through concussions.
So I know you told me you had multiple concussions while you were at the NFL level. Do you know if you ever had concussions when you were younger in high school or even younger than that?
I guess I couldn't recall any at the high school level. I don't think I played enough and sustained heavy contact. Not saying that concussions can't be sustained in low impact situations, but most of my problems arose all of them, in my view and in my mind, arose when I was in the NFL. You're dealing with larger humans, faster, stronger, and the speed of the game is exceptional. So, and most of them were sustained on special teams, whether it be kickoff return, punt return. So, I can't recall any in college or in high school, but that's not to say that there wasn't any.
Well, now that you're retired, looking back, do you think the concussions have changed your life, and if so, how?
Absolutely. I mean, anybody that's dealt with a traumatic brain injury or a brain injury of any sort finds out that things become different. I used to be pretty social, didn't mind being around people and crowds. Now I've become reclusive and more or less just like to keep to myself. And it's not due to the people, it's due to the noises and stuff that I have a hard time focusing on conversations, especially if there's an outside noise and if it's not a controlled environment. And so it's changed me in that way. I think it's made me a lot more aggressive, to where things bother me a lot more. Fortunately, I've got a doctor that I see in Missoula who has really helped me level out and allowed me to function in, small controlled environments. So it's been an adjustment. I think it's been harder on the people that know me due to the fact that they can't, I'm a little bit different. So, but definitely have noticed a change in my lifestyle.
So looking back, if you knew then what you know now, would you have played football?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm a guy that, I live in the present. The past is the past. I can't go back and change it, so I really try not to think about it. But, to answer your question, I would go back and play. I mean, that's something that I loved and still do to this day. Love the game of football. I'm not a fan of the game of football, but I love the X's and O's and just football as a coaching standpoint, or film, not necessarily TV, but just watching it and learning and finding out what new stuff's going on.
Okay. I have one last question, another tough one. I know you have 2 young boys. If they decided that they wanted to play football, would you allow them to do that?
Absolutely. I mean, there's risk in everything that we do in life, and if they choose to play football, I'll be more hands-on. I'll try to coach and help and teach them the proper tackling, the proper hitting, the proper blocking, and I'll be more involved and to help them with that. I just hope that coaches out there recognize that it's not a bell ringing anymore, it's a concussion, and that it needs to be treated by a physician that's educated on concussions and stuff. So who knows in the next 10 years what data and what safety as far as helmets, shoulder pads, and stuff that we'll have available to these young kids. So I would let them choose, and whatever they choose to do, I'll be 100% supportive.
Okay, thanks Casey for coming and telling your story. I really do appreciate that, and I'm sure many others will as well. Up next, we'll be talking to a doctor from Helena who's heavily involved in the youth of football and safeguarding players from concussions. Stay with us.